Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi. How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah.
Great. How are you?
Hello.
Everyone has a few questions that we want to ask. I was going to start with, since we have the largest class in freshman history this year and 30% are out of state, what are some of the things that the administration is doing right now to cope with the influx in students, and if this happens again next year, is OSU going to be prepared for it?
Well, we think about that a lot. We thought about that a lot this time. The biggest, the acute problem is the residence halls. That's, I think we can add faculty. You can't just do it instantly and add the kind of faculty you want, but we can certainly add faculty. We have classroom space, although it's not always the ideal hours. You know, it may be at hours people don't. When I was in school, we had Saturday classes, so I don't think anybody's been demonstrating for Saturday classes. So, but you can make efficient use of your classrooms. I also think online is going to have a big impact on all this. We were talking today about 150, 200 seat classes, and whether we want to have more large classrooms or maybe some of that materials delivered online. I really see online as, I think people think of it as a medium for being unable to be here in class and on campus, and so you're place bound for one reason or another, maybe cost, maybe family, maybe job, and so you take an online course. But I really think it's going to be a much more common use in a hybrid structure, where you'll be receiving some of the instruction through digitally, and then maybe more lab kind of seminar interaction kind of forums as well. So I don't know that we need those great big classrooms. But as I say, the most difficult is the residence hall, because you can't just magically wave your wand and get a residence hall. So we're going to have to come up with strategies. One that people talk about is maybe seniors don't live in the dorms. I don't know how many beds that frees up. It may not be enough. It may be you've got to go to juniors. I do think it's very important for freshmen and even sophomores, if they want to live in the dorms. So, but they're building lots of dorms around the campus. I mean, around the campus, private residences around the campus. So, the private sector is stepping up and will provide, I think, a lot of that. So, and if they understand that we're not going to be building all kinds of dorms, that we'll see more of that. We are going to do something with Kerr Drummond over the next 2 or 3 years, and that we're going to build. We will build a dorm over where the existing track is on Hall of Fame. But that's 2 or 3 years off before that's going to be done.
With the 30% of out-of-state students, is that something that OSU is focusing on? Are we trying to get more out-of-state students, and are we trying to raise that number each year?
Well, we don't have a goal of a certain number of out-of-state students. If you look at the demographics in Oklahoma and you look at the higher education institutions, there's a limit to how many you can expect to attract, how many more you can expect to attract from within the state. We have more students from in-state this year as well, so that's always going to be our central focus. But many students come from out of state and they stay. Some students come, go to school here, leave, and send money back. I can think of one in particular as an example of that. So I think it's a balance that I don't know how we quite can manage effectively. One thing I don't want to do is raise admission standards above what we think is really necessary to be able to do the work here. I think everybody that because that's going to exclude Oklahomans as well, and I don't want to do that. I mean, if our admission standards are right and we think they're about where you need to be to have a chance to be successful if you work at it, I don't want to just arbitrarily raise those to manage numbers. I'd rather do it with first out of state, and you could do that with tuition. There's a lot of ways you could manage that. So I get asked that question a lot, even by regents. How big do you think we ought to be? And frankly, I don't know the answer to that. The other thing to remember about out-of-state students is just like research dollars that come from outside the state. I'm certainly no economist, but my one economic principle is that if money comes from outside a region into the region, it creates economic development. If it's just within the region, it's just everybody's just passing money around, same money. So all these students coming from out of state are an economic stimulus to our state and to OSU. So there's a real benefit, and it probably helps mitigate what you have to charge in in-state tuition.
I have one more question, then I'll let everyone else kind of chime in.
I didn't filibuster.
In the past few years, we've had so many budget cuts to the education, and tuition has risen every year due to as a direct result. Is there things the university is doing, especially administration, to cut back in administrative expenses to counterbalance that, or is it, what are you doing to try to, minimize the raises in what students have to pay?
Enrollment growth helps. I mean, when you're bringing in more enrollment and you have fixed costs already in terms of your classroom space, your residence halls, and that kind of thing. So growth in enrollment helps in and of itself. Obviously, our energy savings plan has been a really strong driver of efficiency. We figure now over the last 5 years we've saved $20 million. We brought on a lot of buildings with no net increase in utility costs, so that's administration. We're looking at a lot of efficiencies. We just worked a new arrangement with OG&E on some wind energy that we think is going to cut our costs even further. We've gone to CNG for most of our vehicles, which cuts costs dramatically. We built Clean Energy built the station up on Lakeview and Western. And we're trying to get more efficient. We're just trying to figure out ways to do more with less. And I think over at least the time I've been here, tuition has not been. I think the first year it was a pretty good amount, but after that it's been either flat or under 3 to 4%. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. When you come, you all spend money on things that kind of help that too. I mean, in the student union over here, at all the auxiliary kinds of services that are provided. So that all helps. But we can always do more, and we're constantly looking at ways to be more efficient, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to keep things down, and if we can keep it flat, I think that'd be great, because I've paid it before, and I'll probably pay it with my grandkids again.
A little bit.